Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is functional training class. My name is Mike. We're going to get started with a little bit of a warm-up, and we're going to do some dynamic stretching and some mobility work. So starting off, we're going to be doing some good morning stretches just for the hamstrings to wake up a bit. So feet about hip width apart, maybe a little closer together, and you're going to keep the legs straight. You're going to be going down and past the knees and then up. So like a hinge. So what you want to do, keeping the legs straight, going down nice and slow, and then up a little quicker. Making sure that you're being mindful and noticing that lengthening of the hamstrings, and then up. And squeeze the glutes when you fully extend, so you're down, up, squeeze the glutes together, and again. So continue that movement, down, and up. For about 3-second count the way down, and a 1-second count on the way up. 1, 2, 3, 1. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And done. Great. Okay, keeping with the lower body theme here, we're going to have a nice wide stance. So really exaggerated stance, nice and wide. And we're going to kind of just shift our weight left to right. And when you straighten that outside leg, the one that's extended, you're going to feel that stretch again in the hamstrings with the dynamic movement, as well as the adductors and the inside here of the thigh. And you want to try to make sure that you're facing forward. And then we're going to slowly progress and get a little lower. And you're going to do that by taking the opposite hand and pretend like you're going to touch the floor, to eventually the point where you actually do touch the floor with your fingertips, which will force you to go down even lower. Heart rate is beginning to increase. And we're going to stop it right there, standing up nice and straight, feet back to normal, down on the ground. And what we're going to do is hands and knees, 4-point position. Hands are underneath your shoulders. We're going to perform the bird dog exercise to help with our balance, coordination, and core stability. So you're going to extend your left arm forward and your right leg behind you. So the opposites. And just have a natural curvature of the spine, keeping your foot elevated. So don't let it touch the floor. Keep it up, and arm extended, and hold that. Fully extend, stretch it out, and contract. Squeeze your glutes, engage the core muscles, and breathe normally. And then we're going to set those down and lift the other side. So now it's right arm extended forward, left leg extended back, and just continue holding that, but really be mindful and engage those muscles. So really engage the glutes, keep the foot elevated as high as you can, and your arm extended forward. Engage the core muscles and hold. And drop it down. Now we incorporate the movement pattern. So now that you understand how to engage the muscles with each extension, you're going to pull them in and out to the middle. So high, extended, touch to the middle, elbow to knee, and extend. Hold for 2 seconds each time you extend. In, out, and it continue. Slow and controlled. This exercise, the bird dog, should never be performed quickly or ballistically, which will defeat the purpose of what we're trying to accomplish here. One more. And switching sides. So opposites, right arm, left leg, ready, and in and out, and hold for 2 seconds. One more after this one. Squeeze and set down. Relax for a second. Okay, and then we're gonna stand up again. Okay, so just a quick little water. Now that we've loosened up, elevated the heart rate a bit, and you're gonna need some weights, so make sure you have those nearby. So we're gonna do a bit of a progression from some of the other movement patterns that we've been doing. You're gonna need one weight. So one of the main movements that we do to incorporate all components for functional training, balance, coordination, dynamic balance especially, strength and stability, even flexibility, is the one single-legged deadlift or hinge pattern where you're balancing on one side and then you're pulling it forward, really activating the glutes and hamstrings as well as your balance, obviously. Now we're going to incorporate the second part to that exercise, which is the reverse lunge and an overhead press. Okay, so a lot going on here. So what you're going to do is you're going to lower down past the knee. You're going to come up, and then you're going to go down into a reverse lunge and press the weight over your head. But you want to do that in one smooth, continuous motion. So it's more of a clean and press and less of a curl and press. So what I mean by that is you're going to go down, up, down. So that nice reverse lunge and overhead press is one really smooth movement, okay? And we're keeping it all on the same side. So what happens is your right foot stays planted for this entire movement pattern, all of it together. So it's down, here, clean and press. My right foot stayed still, didn't go anywhere, do anything. Okay, let's continue this movement. Balance, up, clean and press. Again. Up, clean and press. Let's do 3 more. Last one. And done. Okay, good. Shake it off a bit there. Other side. So remember, we're combining everything in one here. So the first pattern is our hinge, one-legged deadlift, lower the weight, coming back up, and then down into the reverse lunge with the clean and press. Okay, so think of it this way. When you return from your single-legged deadlift, you're not curling, lunging, and pressing. It's not so robotic. It's not 3 movements, 1, 2, and 3. You're mixing them all together, so it's smooth. So it's one movement. Okay, here we go. Down, up, overhead. Exhale on the overhead press. Two more. Last one. And complete. Okay, set your weight down. Active recovery, so stay moving, try to walk around. Okay, now that the heart rate is starting to come down a bit, slowly back to the floor. Okay, and we're going to do an upper body and core exercise. So we're going to do a modified push-up hybrid with a plank, or just plank push-ups. You keep it simple. So you're just in a traditional prone plank position on your elbows, like so. And you're going to plant one hand, push yourself up to the other, and then back down. Okay, here we go. And alternate hands. Back to the right. Down. Back to the left. Try to do that extension as powerful as possible. So it's okay. Really get the triceps and shoulders working here. Two more. And drop the knees. Lean back. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay. And then we're going to slowly stand up again. Just give yourself a moment. And up. Okay. All right, we don't need weights for this next one. Okay, so this is one of the more difficult exercises that most people will continually struggle with. Not that it's intense, but that it rather requires a lot of focus. So this is the 3-point lunge with the knee raise. And I emphasize the knee raise component because this is what really challenges our dynamic balance, okay? So trying to maintain equilibrium or your center of gravity with movement in different planes of direction. So the 3-point lunge, again, as a reminder, it's a forward lunge. Don't touch this knee to the floor. So about 3/4 of the way down. But instead of stepping back and resting your foot down on the floor, which cancels out the balance and makes it easier, you go from there and you have to raise the knee off the ground. Raise the foot off the ground and bring the knee nice and high. Drive it straight to the chest. And then we go into our second lunge pattern, the lateral lunge, down. And then again, when I return to the middle, I raise the knee. That's always a really hard one. So we're not used to being stuck in those lateral positions. And then I go into the reverse lunge, and then raise, and then repeat. Forwards, lateral, reverse. It's very challenging, but very, very effective, okay? Improving your dynamic balance is so crucial, not only for athletes, but for everybody, okay? If you're ever walking on an unstable surface, or you have to balance to go pick something up off the shelf, or if you have a child, it really strengthens the joints and stabilizes everything and prevents injury. So here we go. Don't touch that foot down. So forward, raise, lateral, raise, reverse. Again, up, one, knees up, reverse, and back. Again, up, knee up, down, and back. Last one. Up, up. Done. Okay, now we got to do the other side. Okay, so sometimes this is the non-dominant side because you're balancing on your non-dominant side. So now left leg goes down, raise it up into the side lunge, raise it up, and reverse. Okay, make sure you have enough space. Here we go. Forward, raise, lateral, raise. We'll go two more. Forward. It takes a lot of power to push yourself up off the ground and raise to do that. especially in really weird positions, like the lateral. So down here, and to push off and raise, it's hard to control the momentum, as you can see. We'll try that one more time. So forwards, raise, lateral, and then raise. See if you push too hard, I go that way, harder to balance. Okay, so keep an eye on that. There's our 3-point lunges. Always important to do those. Okay, take a little break. Okay, you're gonna need one weight now, just one. Okay, so we're gonna do one of our variations of the wood chop, which is a rotational exercise. So we're working in a different plane of movement here. And what you wanna do again is to make sure that you eliminate the shoulders from doing the work, okay? All that power comes from the torso rotation, driving up from the legs into the core muscles to rotate. Any sport movements involving a swing pattern are using those muscles, okay? Obviously, shoulders are helping to follow through if it was a sport. But in this particular instance, it's specifically supposed to be a core isolated movement. So you're focusing on all that power coming from here and not your arms, okay? So the variation we're gonna do is in a lunge position. So not this one, this is the half kneeling. We're gonna be up, right? So what we're gonna do in a wide lunge stance is we're gonna lower down. And then as we extend our legs up, we follow through with the wood chop, and that's where you use the core torso rotation and not your shoulders. So here we go. So down into our kind of canoe movement and then rotate up. And when you come up, you're only going to about shoulder height, maybe a tad higher. You're not going over your head. So down and up and rotate. You'll notice I'm going faster on the way up, slow on the way down. Last one. Okay, other side. Left foot in front, right foot behind, and lowering down and up. One more. And done. Okay, great. Set that foot, the weight down. Recover for a bit here. You're gonna need a heavy weight, kettlebell, dumbbell, something like that. Heavier than what you were using, if possible. Okay, so to continue challenging our lower body, of course, we're gonna do our squat figure eights. So with the heavier weight, if you don't have a kettlebell, you can do it with a dumbbell. It's just a little bit more challenging to grab it, so just be careful. So we're gonna be in our squat position, and you're going to pass the weight through your legs, remember, in that pattern, figure eight pattern, okay? All right, so here we go. Choose one direction to start. Try to look straight ahead and not down at your feet, if possible. And just transfer that weight. This is where your coordination comes in, your control, your stability and isometric strength of their lower body, holding the squat the whole time. One more, but weight switch directions. Push through the burn. 3, 2, and up. Woo. Okay. Always a tough one. Okay, and just walk around one more time before we go down to the floor. Okay, so work your way down. And we're going to do 2 deep breaths. Kind of control. Ready? Okay, great. So we're going to do a couple core isolated exercises here. So what we're going to do is lying down, grab a weight, holding both ends, feet flat on the floor. To start, reach the weight over your head, carefully extending your arms, lifting your feet off the ground, and you're going to meet in the middle, extend out slightly behind you, and you're going to pull the weight in, sitting up with a Russian twist. So this is a combination of a couple different exercises we've done. We've split them up. Now we're combining them together. So it's down, ready? So it's out, up, 1, 2, and down. Extending out, pulling it up, 1, 2. Again, down, up, 1, 2, down, out, up, 1, 2. You're using a bit of the momentum of the weight to pull you up. 1, 2, down. Last one. And done. Get rid of that weight. And we're going to get into our cool down now. So starting in this position, we're going to do our pigeon stretch. So one leg is in front, bent. The other one is behind. For now, we'll start with the bent. So both are bent in a zigzag position. And I want you to lean to the side. So if your right leg is in front, lean to the right, just to start. And now I want you to lean in front, so in the middle here. Okay. And then we make it even more difficult by extending the back leg and then eventually lifting up over top of this front leg. So that's the progression of that stretch. And you can choose where your comfort zone is so that you're feeling the tension, but no discomfort. And then you can always switch. Maybe this is better. Bend that knee to relieve and leaning back. And then you can try all of those. Okay. Switching sides, starting with the phase 1. So both legs are bent. You might feel some hip flexor, adductor muscles here. And then, so you're leaning and then you lean in front over top of the front leg, or you can extend the back leg. And then to finish, you can go over top. And drop down, lean to the side. You'll feel the hip flexor stretch here. And pull down in the front. Okay, great. Switching to our knees. Okay, we're going to do our cat-cow stretch. So 4-point position, hands and knees. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Arc the back nice and high, engage the core muscles. And then go down nice and low. Nice and high. And sink. Up. Okay, hip flexor stretch for quads, hip flexors. You guys know the drill. 90-90 with the legs, 90-degree angles, and lean forward. You can reach your arm over top if you want it even more. Difficulty to the stretch or to feel more tension is you lean forward and reach your arm over top of your body. Whereas before you would just rest it here. To feel it more, instead of facing forward and turning, you're reaching over. And bringing it back. Going one more time. And done. Okay, switch sides. Left leg is in front, leaning forward, and then you can reach over. You're not reaching far, it's just simply here, and you're reaching a little bit. You'll feel that pull almost on the glutes here, and down the side, you'll feel a little bit of a pull. Good for the QL, which is really important, can contribute to lower back pain. Back to the middle. And one more time. And done. Okay, on the knees again. Sitting on your heels. Child's pose stretch, so stretching forward and hold. Sliding back, one deep breath in and out. One more time. And back. Okay, excellent. Thank you everybody for joining and completing the functional training workout. And we will see you all here next week at the same time, 11 o'clock. Thank you so much and be well. Take care.